So let's talk about some other abstract topic for now. It's about sports. I didn't do much sports in my past, and I don't do much sports in my present, but I was interested in some sports, and I'm going to talk about it right now. When I was between the first and the fourth grade in my elementary school, I had this dumbbells for 2 kilograms each, and I had the book of some Soviet exercises and for young boys, and I read this book and I performed these exercises with these dumbbells, like raising your hands with the dumbbells to over your head, but in front of you or at your sides and other stuff. And these exercises had some particular effect. I was able to pull up 10 times in a row in the fourth grade, but then in the fifth grade my vision dropped too low, and I was moved from the general group in the physical education to some special medical group. I was released of any exercises, and I just spent time doing some useless stuff during the rest of my school, and then for the first three courses years in my university, and then somewhere at the fourth year of the university and in the first years of my work after the university, I started to do some exercises like push-ups, pull-ups, and trying to do handstand against the wall. It was kind of difficult for me to push my legs out of the floor and put myself into this handstand position, but heavily kicking the wall with my heels when I moved my feet from the ground to the position over my head. But I managed to do this kind of exercise, and then I tried different styles, different exercises, and I failed because I didn't have any particular system. And then I was quite successful, quite lucky to find Paul Wade's Convict Conditioning book that had 6 areas of physical exercises, like push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, abs exercises, bridge, and handstand exercises. And these exercises used all main muscle groups in your body, and each exercise had maybe 6 or 7 levels of mastery. Like the first level was the easiest, and the 6th level was almost impossible to achieve. For example, for the pull-ups. Okay, for the pull-ups, the ultimate goal was to perform one hand pull-up, but for the handstand, the ultimate goal was to perform one hand stand push-up. It was impossible, and it is impossible because no one person can keep the balance and perform this one handstand push-up, maybe with some assistant, like the wall or the corner of the room, where you can kind of keep your balance with your legs when you lean your foot against the walls, and then you perform your push up with your hand doing handstand. That could be possible, but I never saw that in the kind of real life. Anyway, this system was enough for me because all other exercises that I watched somewhere on YouTube could be put in these six categories, and I didn't need to do any dumbbell exercises because the purpose of this Paul Wade's book was to do these exercises with your own weight and without any special equipment. So although I was able to perform some exercises maybe at the third or the fourth level, I started, as the author advised, from the first level, but I just moved to the next level quicker than I did with the types of exercises where I was the novice for the exercise itself. So for the push-ups, the ultimate goal was to perform one arm push-ups, and I never achieved this goal, but I started to perform the push-ups against the wall. Then I moved to the table, and then I performed the push-ups from my knees, although I could perform the full push-ups, and then I moved to the full push-ups. I tried to perform some assisted push-ups when the most of the weight applied to one arm, and then you use your other arm to keep your balance or to put some weight out of your basic arm. But I didn't get any progress, so I just stopped doing this. But in general, I achieved my biggest achievement in push-ups was to perform 100 consecutive push-ups by keeping my body in the plank position all the time, and I used this position to rest between these push-ups. I think the most difficult part was to perform the first 50 push-ups, and it wasn't like I performed them with some particular rhythm. I just could perform maybe 10 push-ups in a row, then I rested in this plank position, and then I continued by doing maybe next 10 push-ups, and then adding 5 push-ups till I reached 40, and then maybe by adding 3 or 2 push-ups I reached 50, and it was the most difficult path because um, my heart started to work at the maximum rate, like 160 beats, and then I just continued to perform two, three, maybe just one push up from the 50th to the 100th, and the overall process took me about 6 or even 8 minutes, and during all these 8 minutes I was in the state of 160 beats per minute, and it was the good practice for my cardio system, because it is recommended to get into some stable pulse like 100, maybe 120, and then stay in this heartbeat rate during about half an hour. You can reach this level by doing some exercises like riding a bike, or for example doing this tread or something, when you emulate the rowing on the boat with special equipment. Yeah, and in this position you could work for 50 or 30 minutes and control your pulse and stay in your 120 beats per minute, and this way you train your heart and your vessels. That's very useful exercise. Anyway, this was my limit, my highest achievement in push-ups. The next exercise was about let's say squats, and I could make about 50 or 100 squats using two legs, and it wasn't very hard for me. And at some point when I was at school and then at the university, I always performed the squats like sitting on the tiptoes, because I didn't have enough flexibility to perform squats touching the floor with my heels. And then I somehow practiced this style, and I was able to perform the full squat with my heels on the floor, and I didn't feel much tension in my body. But the ultimate goal for the squats in this Paul Wade's convict conditioning book was to perform one leg squats, and I walked through all these levels of this exercise, like starting with some squats with two legs, and then moving to some squats with one leg, but doing not so deep squats as the real goal tells you. Yeah, so I managed to strengthen my knees and the hips to perform the full squat on one leg, and then I managed to perform about 10 one-leg squats with each particular leg in a row. Yeah, It was hard because the ultimate goal was to perform this on the floor, and I didn't have enough flexibility to and stretching in my muscles to perform this perfect squat, one leg squat on the floor. But later I have found out that there are the options for the people who didn't have enough flexibility. Like, you can do these squats standing on the chair. This way you don't have to raise your straight leg too high. And it's not about flexibility, but about having strong legs, and with this elevation over the ground, above the ground, using chair, standing on the chair with, let's say, left leg, I could perform maybe 10 consecutive one leg squats with my left leg. Then I switched to my right leg and performed the same squats. And later I had found out that there is the variation which is from CrossFit. When they performed these squats, changing the legs after each time, like one with the left leg, one with the right leg, next with the left leg, next with the right leg, and this way they performed about 50 squats, one leg squats, but they kind of changed their legs, so it wasn't so difficult for each particular leg, but the overall progress or overall the weight that the legs were lifting from the ground was quite equal to the weight if you perform 10 only left one leg squats, and then you change into 10 consecutive right leg one leg squats. Anyway, this squats is the only exercise that I really achieved through all 6 levels, and I mastered it, and it stayed with me, and it stays with me till now, because I can perform these one leg squats after some preparation. If I didn't perform this exercise for a long time, with other exercises like the bridge, I couldn't get to the level I reached at my peak performance, but that's quite alright for me. And so the first the first type of exercises was about push-ups, next about squats, and I group these types of exercises into the floor exercises, because you use the floor to perform push-ups and to perform squats. The next type of exercises is bar exercises, because you mainly use the bar to perform them. The first one is obviously pull-ups, and the ultimate goal to perform this one arm pull-ups, and I never reached this goal. Well, at some point I wanted to go all in and try to do this stuff, but I had found the guy on YouTube who overperformed his pull-ups. He performed 50 consecutive two arms pull-ups, but he also performed lots of other exercises like doing gymnastic handstands, and he overtrained his biceps, and his left biceps just toned and was torn, and he couldn't perform any exercises at all for the long period of time. So I decided that it was kind of the sign for me not to overtrain my arms, because I need them for other purposes than just proving for myself that I can't achieve this one arm push-up due to my physiological physiological abilities, physiological structure of my organism. Anyway, I performed all these levels of pull-ups, and I was able to perform straight pull-ups and straight chin-ups, or maybe regular pull-ups and regular chin-ups, and then I could perform even close pull-ups and close chin-ups, and some variation of wide pull-ups and wide chin-ups. No, maybe wide pull-ups, as they were as wide as the distance between the two walls where my pull-up bar was installed. So it's not very wide. Anyway, I moved to the close, narrow pull-ups and narrow chin-ups, and that was all right. And I think my biggest achievement with pull-ups is performing 18 consecutive pull-ups, regular pull-ups. Their form was not very beautiful, but I was able to keep the bar with my hands and perform these pull-ups, because then later I tried to do this 18 pull-ups, and my highest achievement was just 15 pull-ups, but that's alright. My biggest problem when I tried to perform the 16th pull-up with the power of my biceps, my hands just let go of the bar, because my grip was quite weak in general. Okay, that's about pull-ups, and the next bar exercise is the training abdominals by raising your legs. First, you train raising your legs lying on the bed, and when you could perform about 20 or 30 consecutive leg raises without putting your legs back on the bed, then you can go into the leg raises on the bar. You just keep the bar with your arms, the way you just hand on the bar, and then you start raise up your legs to the level of when your legs are parallel to the floor, and you need to perform about maybe 10-15 repetitions, and then you start to raise your legs higher with the with the angle which is more than just 90 degrees, and the ultimate goal is to reach the bar with the toes of your legs. And at some point I achieved this goal, and I could perform about 10 consecutive leg raises with the touching the bar with my toes. And I think my ultimate achievement was about 15 these repetitions. And it's not only about making your abdominals quite strong, but about making the part of your body, maybe part of your back and some muscles at your sides and your shoulders quite strong, because you need to keep this position hanging on the bar and touching it with your legs, with your toes. And I don't have enough flexibility, but I could perform this anyway. So this is a quite strong exercise, and of course, yeah, it was the ultimate level of mastering leg raises for abdominal training, and I achieved this level. So this is the second exercise when I achieved and performed the master level of exercise the way it was in with squats, and the same I achieved with the leg raises hanging on the bar. And the last set of exercises from this book is about the wall exercises. They are wall exercises because most of the levels of the bridge exercise you perform against the wall, like the most safe and advanced and advance at the same time exercise about the bridge is standing with your back against the wall, then you bend over back and you look at the wall and you touch your the wall with your hands, and then you walk down along this wall to the floor, and you get into the position of performing bridge on the wall. Then after some time you can walk with your hands up the wall and get into the standing position. So this way you perform one bridge on the floor, kind of assisted with the wall walking. It's a very strong exercise for your back and even legs and arms, but it's quite safe because you always have the support for your legs and for your arms or hands. And the master level of this exercise is to perform back bridge from the standing position without touching any wall, just to bend over the floor, like moving your head back, yeah, and then you create this arc, and then you kind of drop on the floor, and you need to catch your body with your arms on the floor before you hit the floor with your head. And the most strongest exercise was to go back from this bridge position into the standing position. I didn't have enough flexibility in my back and in my lower back, so it was more strength exercise for me than the real flexibility exercise. So I could perform maybe 8 exercises, 8 repetition in the row when I went from the standing position into the bridge on the floor without any assistance from the wall. Then I moved myself from the bridge into the standing position using the wall. Yeah. But I have about 5, maybe 10 unique experiences during all these years of doing this bridge exercise when I managed to perform and transition from the standing position into the bridge on the floor, and then went from the bridge on the floor to the standing position without any support from the wall. But it was quite difficult for my legs because I performed all the stuff with my legs because my back can't create the necessary level of flexibility. Anyway, I achieved this the 6th level of this exercise. I mastered it, but it's too difficult for me because it's like doing this lotus poses with my legs when I can't really move my legs into these positions just naturally. So I stopped with this wall walking type of bridge and standing in the bridge on the wall and then moving back into the standing position, and that's quite strong exercise by itself. And the last exercise with the wall is the handstanding. The ultimate goal of this exercise is to perform the handstand against the wall with one arm. I never saw the man who could do this exercise, but the maybe pre-mastering is to perform two handstand push up against the wall. So many people with quite strong shoulders and quite strong arms could perform these handstand push-ups. And in CrossFit, it's one of the basic exercises. But for me, the highest level of this exercise was just to perform handstand against the wall and maybe perform some very, very short push-ups. Like I got the pile of book on the floor and then I touched this book by performing slight bending of my elbows. That wasn't very effective, but it was quite difficult in itself. Anyway, now I think that the quite satisfying level of achievement for me is to perform a handstand against the wall and stand with this in this position for about 2 minutes. And the other variant is to perform this handstand against the wall, then using my arms, my hands on the floor, kind of kick my legs off the wall and catch the balance, and then keep this balance for some time. My highest achievement was to keep the balance after kicking off the wall for about 60 seconds, which is 1 minute. And it was quite an achievement for me. Another type of exercise using the handstand is to perform kind of walking on the floor, but keeping your feet against the wall. This way you keep the balance, because I can't keep the balance just without any support surface. So, but at the same time, you move your weight from one shoulder to the other, and you kind of make your shoulders quite strong, because to keep your balance using two hands, you use some particular muscles in your hands, in your back, and your legs. But when you just walk through from one hand to the other hand with your legs on the wall, you enable other muscles in your shoulders and some in your upper back. So this is the third group of exercises, and I was quite satisfied that I reached these particular levels in these exercises. So to summarize the information I was talking about during this topic, this Paul Wade guy introduced the system of becoming stronger, and it was divided into 3 types of exercises. The one type is floor exercises, the second one bar exercises, and the third one is wall exercises. The floor exercises consisted of push-ups and squats. The wall exercises included the bridge and the handstand, and the bar exercises were about pull-ups, okay, and the leg raises while hanging on the bar. So these types of exercises helped me to increase my strength and train the muscles in my whole body, giving kind of balanced loading for most important muscles in my body. And I am glad that I have found that this system and I followed it, and I continue to perform some exercises from this system, like pull-ups, push-ups, squats, and I feel quite alright with this small group of exercises. I don't need to perform all the types of exercises that are shown on YouTube. It's alright for me to concentrate on some particular exercises that enable the main areas of my body. So that's all for today's topic on the sports for me.